If you're a fan of Inside Out and love discovering hidden secrets in movies, this video is for you. We'll explore 31 details and Easter eggs from the first film that you probably missed. Get ready for an exciting journey through Riley's mind, where we'll uncover the layers of creativity and innovation that made Inside Out one of Pixar's most beloved and acclaimed films. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and join us on this trip through the colorful and emotional world of Inside Out. You are on the Nerd Genetics channel, and I'm very happy that you're here. In an exciting journey, Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong board a train heading to the command center, and unfortunately the trip is interrupted when Riley falls asleep. Determined to move forward, they venture to wake Riley and get the train back on track. During this mission, they make a magical stop at the Dream Production, a place that pays a beautiful tribute to Hollywood's iconic studios. There, they find charming references such as Warner's Water Tower, the majestic gates of Paramount Pictures, and the bright spotlights of Fox. Inside, we see a poster reminiscent of Star Wars, and we find Ted from Monsters, Inc. there. We see Robin Hood, Mickey Mouse, who apparently isn't doing too well, the Smurfs, and the villain Zurg from Toy Story 2. During Riley's escape, A1 and 13 appears, the room where the animators studied. A fascinating fact about Inside Out is that it is the first Pixar film produced without a villain. This bold and strategic choice allowed the studio to focus on the personal growth and self-development of viewers, making them relate to the protagonist. And guess what? This approach was a huge success. By centering the narrative on Riley's emotions and internal development, the film won the hearts of all ages, resonating deeply with audiences and becoming a true milestone in Pixar's history. While Riley plays hockey, we see the name Tri-County, which is the location of the junkyard in Toy Story 3. The teddy bear tearing up in this scene is a nod to what happened in Riley's childhood. In the card castle, we see something quite familiar. The king is Riley's father, the queen is her mother, and Riley herself is the jack, or even R next to it. We also see the game Find Me, a great reference to Finding Nemo. In the scene where Joy is looking for Sadness, there are memories from the movie Up, Carl's Wedding, which is unfortunately not a happy memory due to the death of his wife. When Riley arrives on her first day at school, there are cool Easter eggs such as the 86 on a kid's shirt, which was the year Steve Jobs bought Graphics Group, renaming it Pixar, and released the first short, Luxo Jr. And here, Andy's room globe. And continuing with Toy Story, one of the girls in Riley's class wears a white shirt with a skull symbol, which is an inverted version of Sid's shirt. And on the kid next to her, camouflaged, we see the shape of the dinosaur Rex, also from Toy Story. An overlooked mistake that many didn't notice is when baby Riley, looking directly at her parents, we can see that her mother is wearing glasses. But when we see her from another angle, she is without glasses. If you notice this mistake, let us know in the comments. When Joy and Sadness are sucked in and appear in the long-term memory storage, we are treated to an impressive view. At one point, we can observe how the shelves visual was meticulously crafted. If you look closely, you'll see that they were organized to resemble a brain drawing. Every detail was carefully considered to create this resemblance, revealing the intention to reflect the complexity and structure of our most important organ. A fascinating fact about Inside Out is that the emotions are not made of solid matter. If you look closely, you'll see that Pixar animated each emotion as if it were composed of particles that disperse throughout the film. This choice was intentional. Pete Docter, the visionary behind the film, carefully detailed this approach to illustrate the ethereal and complex nature of human emotions. Going back when Riley is still young, at the moment she runs around the house and stops at a power cord to avoid tripping, we can note that the power cord is black, but when seen through Riley's eyes, it is white. When each emotion uses the control panel, it automatically changes color, resembling each emotion's own colors. Here's another super cool fact. Remember the perfect boyfriend Riley imagines in her mind? Well, did you know he was inspired by singer Harry Styles? At the time of the film, Harry was still part of the band One Direction. This wasn't a coincidence. Like everything in Inside Out, it had a special purpose. Elizabeth, Pete Docter's daughter, was a huge fan of Harry Styles, and her father knew that, so he decided to incorporate this idea into the film, creating a detail that was very cool and personally meaningful. In the scene where Riley talks to her friend in the contacts, we see Pete Docter and Ronnie, directors of Inside Out. In the scene where Joy encounters Bing Bong, Riley's imaginary friend, in this very quick scene, we see the Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story in this happy memory. An interesting fact about Riley's dad's mind, while in Brazil he thinks of soccer, in the original version he thinks of hockey. In this scene, when Riley is playing at home, we can see a magazine with Colette, the chef from Ratatouille. And again with young Riley, while she plays with Bing Bong, we see the Pixar ball from the short Luxo Jr. Did you know that the character Riley from Inside Out has a real-life inspiration? The design of the protagonist was based on director Pete Docter's daughter, Elizabeth. Moreover, Riley's personality and experiences were inspired by the emotions and challenges Elizabeth faced at age 11. By the time the film was completed, Elizabeth was 16, as the production took 5 years to finish. During this time, Pete Docter and his team worked tirelessly to ensure every detail was perfect. From the facial expressions of the emotions to the complexity of Riley's inner mind settings. This dedication resulted in a film that won over both children and adults, receiving numerous accolades and the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. Now we understand why Inside Out is so amazing. Many may not have noticed, but the only character inside Riley's mind who doesn't have a shadow is Joy. This detail has sparked various curious and even sinister theories about the role of the main emotion in the protagonist's mind. However, according to the film's animation team, this choice was intentional. The absence of a shadow was meant to emphasize that joy is a bright and optimistic emotion, radiating light all the time. The presence of a shadow could diminish this perception. It really makes sense and makes Joy stand out even more with her unique and constant brightness. In the scene where disgust, fear, and anger are in charge, we see the Chinese takeout box that appears in other Pixar films. Let's talk again about Pete Docter, the genius behind Pixar. This brilliant director, who is now simply the boss of Pixar, had already created and directed 2 huge successes before Inside Out, Monsters, Inc., and Up. Each of these films won both public and critical acclaim, becoming true icons of animated cinema. Among all his works, Inside Out stood out at the box office, grossing around $857.6 million worldwide in 2015. And even after nearly a decade, this animation continues to be extremely relevant and loved by many, but the story doesn't end there. Inside Out 2, released recently, achieved an even more impressive feat, surpassing the $1 billion mark in global box office sales in record time. In just 19 days, the sequel became the fastest animated film to reach this milestone, establishing itself as the highest-grossing film of 2024 so far. In the control room, when Joy is with the other emotions, we see a photo of Riley with a dinosaur, which is Forrest Woodbush from The Good Dinosaur, a film released in 2016, a year after Inside Out. On the route, as Riley moves to a new city, we can see the birds from the Pixar short For the Birds. So, did you enjoy discovering all these details and Easter eggs hidden in Inside Out? If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. Your participation is crucial for us to keep bringing you videos full of curiosities and theories. On the final screen, another amazing video with 30 details and Easter eggs from Inside Out 2 will be shown. Don't miss the chance to continue this journey through Pixar's fascinating world. See you next time.